I want to come out here and adjust the initial pressure on the transmission on number 1. And this thing shifts really rough in the direct drive speeds. 3rd through 8th, man, it really slams. So what I gotta do is get it warmed up and get it over there by the shop and take this cover off. And there's a P1 and a P2 pressure in there. P2 controls the direct drive upshift. And so what I'll do is take the cover off, put a pressure gauge in there. I have the engine off, and then I'll put it in reverse and start the engine. And I need 75 pounds on P1 and 60 pounds on P2. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but it makes a heck of a difference in how they shift. So I'll probably check P1 too, and P2. P1 too. I'll check P1 and P2. I'm going to P2. It's a bit chilly outside today. We'll see how she starts. So when you're starting one of these 8-speed semi-automatics and it's really cold, what you want to do is pull it up into first gear. And that limits the pressure to 125 psi. You're not going to get that 300 plus to the clutches, and it'll help it start way easier. Yeah, I don't even have to turn it back to heat. Again, that goes back to a really good valve job. So it's not that cold, but you can let it warm up. If it's really cold, I mean really cold, you're going to want to let it run for 10 minutes or so, and then you just go back to neutral, and it might lug it down. But if it's really super cold, if you just after it starts go back to neutral, that pressure will it'll just kill the engine dead. All right, got one gauge in. Screw the other one in. One's on a solid piece of 1/8-inch pipe, and this other one is a hose. Problem is I can't get in here really tighten it too well. Thing. Eat Lord. I don't want to do well. Guess I should change it over to the other. I got another piece of pipe in there. I don't know. Hopefully that works. That's P1. You gotta shove some pip towels in there. You're gonna have oil coming out. I think. Oh, man. We don't want oil squirting out. Okay. Put those in my pocket. All right, so let's go fire it up. See what we get here. Both of them are almost 85. '83 on 84 and 83. So what was that again? 84 on P2 and 83 on P1. So we're about 10 pounds high on P1 and 24 pounds high on P2. Oh boy. So got to take them back out. And then I'll have to take cover off. So the setting is plus or minus 3 psi is all. So it's got to be right. That would explain why it shifts so harshly. And when I pulled it up in first gear to get it over here in reverse, it bangs pretty hard, which tells me, I wondered about that. I thought, yeah, that's probably P1's probably too high too. So when we built this tranny, I replaced all the springs, shift springs, everything. And I wanted my dealer to put it on their test bench and adjust the shift points, and they wouldn't do it because they had some guy bring him a D8 transmission out of the junkyard, and he wanted them to test it, and they did. Now this is a used transmission, not a brand new one. Anyway, it crapped up their test bench. I think they said cost them $2,400 in oil to get it all out and clean it back up. And I said, yeah, but mine's brand new. It's clean as a whistle. Oh, we can't do it anymore. One guy has to ruin it all. So I had to do it the hard way. I had to pull the axles out and get a tachometer hooked up to it, and then sit back here and run the throttle up and watch the pressure gauges and have it watch it shift into each gear. And then back here you take these plugs out and you adjust until it upshifts and downshifts at the right RPM. So what I got to do next is I got to get a higher pressure gauge, and I got to find an adapter to go in that plug, and I probably better do that. So I've got a pressure gauge in the filter housing, and I'm wondering if the main pressure's too high, and that's what's causing the P1 and P2 initial pressures to be high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it up in reverse, and it has to have 120 psi minimum at the filter. And then we're going to go to first or reverse or second, doesn't matter. And I think it's got to have a minimum of 290. So let's see what happens. So we're good there. So let's see if we can bring it to neutral. Looks like we went into first gear. Looks like we're what? 440? So in neutral we're 300. 300, so we're good. So we were 130 with it in reverse, and then she went up to 300 in neutral. Minimum is 290 in neutral, and then she went up to 440 in gear. And if I remember right, the book said you really should have a gauge in P1 and P2. And I can go ahead and take this gauge and put it in each one and see what it is there. But I think it's supposed to be 40 to 50 pounds less on P1 and 2 than here. See, my only concern is if I take those priority valve spools out, modulation valve spools, excuse me, and remove spacers, if that's gonna cure the problem completely. I kind of think it would. P2 is the initial pressure is way high. It's at 84 and it should only be 60. So basically what it's doing is when it shifts, it's like ba-bang, both clutches, directional and speed clutches, are engaging right now. And your speed clutches should engage first, and then it modulates the pressure so that your directional clutches do a little bit of slipping to take out the kerbang when you shift. So I don't know if I have enough daylight left today to get that cover off and dig into there. I went out this morning with the Kenworth and got Matt's pickup. He went out to go hunting last week and hit a moose. So he needs a hood and a right fender and like the radiator core support and all that in there. Why is it when you hit an animal they always take shit? It's like knock the shit out of you. That's what it does. Left a little moose fuzz, a hood and a fender. So if anybody's got one laying around in white and cream, gold, whatever that is, he'd probably be interested in picking one up. Anyway, it sat there for a week and he had a generator in the back. Nobody touched it, nobody bothered it. So there's still a lot of good people in Idaho. A lot of good people. At least they're not profiting on someone else's misfortune. So it is, what is it? It's 5 o'clock. I do not have time to get this apart and do all that and get it buttoned up before dark. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I really wanted this going. I wanted to get it on the Jeep trailer and get it hauled down to the job. But the other problem is that one block on the Jeep trailer that I need to pick up the back end of the scraper and get the dolly shoved under it does not look safe at all. Oh, we got oil running all over here. Where's my plug? Uh-oh, I don't know what I did with it. I gotta go find it. I must have put it in the shop. I'll go find that plug. Anyway, the outfit that was gonna cut me blocks, and I was supposed to have those last Monday, their sawmill broke down and the owner hurt his back. So I said, well, keep me informed. They haven't said anything, so that's not a good sign. But I gotta have those blocks, because if that one collapsed, it'd be a disaster with that can clear in the air. Could get killed. Okay, I think we're ready to come off here. If it'll come off, we'll have to get a hammer. I think it's loose. I think it's loose. Why aren't you coming off? I don't think I forgot a bolt somewhere. No. That's loose. There we go. Wham bam. Now I remember it don't come over that shaft. Alright, so I think the valves I'm looking for are under this cover. I think. Because if they're down in there, that would mean I'd have to take all this stuff off. Ugh. I do not want to do that. So what I gotta do is go get a big old sheet, put in here, because you don't want to drop anything down in there. Alright, so that's gonna be P2 there, P1 over there. The only thing that concerns me is these bolts. Yeah, can't set anything down up here. I just don't want to have springs and spools come spitting out and lose them. And the thing is, these damn bolts won't come out. So it's like, how the hell am I going to get this off of here? I don't get it. Unless you want to take the whole valve assembly out, which means you got to unstack everything. So there it is. But shit, I can't remember. I just don't see any way you can do this the way it's set up. Maybe I got to go in from the other end, but the shims are up here. And they'd have to come the long way out the other end, and I would think you'd lose them down the spool slots or something. I don't know. See, there's the... I don't know. Maybe you can get it out. I don't know. Oh, good Lord. I don't know. I'm going to have to ruminate on this for a minute. All right, there it is. That's the P2, that's P1. What I did to get it out was, it finally dawned on me, there's two short bolts that hold this plate on, and the spools and the spring pressure in there. The long ones will not come out because of the case. So you undo the long ones, and then there was one long one here off to the side, and you let that valve come out. And you gotta have a paper towel in here, or well, I got an old bath towel in case anything falls out, so don't go down the guts. So underneath of here is a stack of shims, and P2 was 84 psi initial pressure, so I needed to get that down to 60. So I removed two 36 thousandths inch shims and one, what is it, 16 thousandths. So the 36s will drop you 9.6 each, and the 16s will get you, what was it, 4 3.6. Anyway, I took out 3, did the calculation. That should get me down to, oh, what the heck was it? 59.8 or 6. I can't remember. And then the P1 was 83. So that's 8 psi too high. So I took out 1/36,000th shim, which gets me 10 psi on P1. So that's going to put me at 73. So it's a plus or minus 3 psi. It's not that they're cooked. They've just taken a set and they're flat. And you're going to be this far in, geez Louise, you might as well replace them. And while I was removing all this, I was talking to Dean Schatz over in Gillette, picking his brain about this. And he doesn't work on a lot of these. He couldn't remember, so he just kind of helped me talk myself through it. That's kind of interesting. This side's completely flat, and that one's kind of roundy. So that O-ring is, I think, is the same as this one. Maybe. I got to go look in the book and find the correct number one and put it in there. You don't want to be putting the wrong one in or you're going to have trouble. Garbage, where do I put this? Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to attempt to put this back in. Wish me luck. Holding the bolts, you got to put it down in there. Then get it turned like this without having the bolts fall out on you, which that one's trying to do. And then get a hold of it. Come on, you wiener. Come on, man, stop sliding out. Get it tipped up here. Try not to lose anything, Jeff. All right, now that spring is about to fall out. Ooh, bingo, right in there where it goes. Okay. Come on, springy. Come on, springy dangy. Okay, I think she's in there where she needs to be. Now you just got to get the bolt started over here. One bolt started. See if we can get this one in. Yeah, baby. That one's in. Okay. That one. That one. So if I didn't get that little spring in the spool, I think we'd feel that. It wouldn't go together. All right. Jeff is winning. I did it. I did it. Shake and bake, and I helped. So there's no guarantee that my calculations on what they say each shim will change the pressure, but that's actually going to be the case. I mean, that should get us really close. And if we're in, if we're within plus or minus 3 psi on both of them, I'm going to call that a win. I'm not taking all this apart to try to adjust it down to the gnats, you know what. Okay. I think Jeff just won. I think he kicked his ass. I do. we're 78 on P1 and 59 on P2. Turn on the auxiliary batteries. So it had me worried that I had a seal leaking, but the oil's coming out of this port right here and pouring down. So it has nothing to do with what I'm doing. So our pressures are within spec. So we're gonna call that good, see how she shifts. Whoa. She wanted to go. She was ready to go. Our brake mechanism off. Actuation lever engaged. Reversing mechanism operational. Reversing process proceeding as planned. of shifts. Shifts a lot smoother in the converter gears too, way smoother. Okay, so I broke the lever off the load counter on the Filthy Whore the other day, so I need to get another load counter for it, because we need to count our loads to know where we're at.